Alright guys, thank you for watching. Since I've posted a lot of thoughts videos in my channel, I come across a phenomenon where uh, I remember things that I've talked about is actually have been talked about by people, by adults during my childhood. So is it something that I remembered, or is it something that I actually found myself? I do believe that I found all of them myself, so I gotta declare that I have my own trail of thoughts and I have my own logic, and using that I derive into the results of my thoughts. But the fact that they have actually, it is in, like, it's in my childhood that I've forgotten. Would that mean that it has something to do with it? Yes, I think so, but really, can that mean that it is not my original thoughts? Really, guys, things that I've written is actually, I took I worked on it. I actually worked on it from the baseline, which is the common knowledge. So I'm sure a lot of people already know more about stuff, but they are just not sharing it. I'm not saying that I am the original instigator of these thoughts, but it's just that I shared it. All right. So I also want, so from, by doing this video, I hope moving forward, I could get a better grip on where does this discipline came from, or these elements of thoughts came from. So let's get into it. In the past, there are some adults who talk about biking in space. And that guy were actually debating it with his friend. And that was a conversation that I remembered. And before the debate, that guy actually tried to present the concept to me, and I didn't understand. But I guess I heard a lot of trail of thoughts, philosophical thoughts, or maybe smart ideas from my adults, because they considered me probably had a chance to be able to grasp it. So I guess I'm kind of a smart kid in the past. Um, and they also, one of them also, maybe the same person, he was talking about check could be used like money. And also there's I do remember that someone talked about the therapeutic properties of the call to prayer. Someone actually talked about it in my childhood, but then I was being reminded that just don't talk about it too much. And what else do I remember? um, During my teenager, I visited some a place in Chinese New Year, so they're kind of a, not exactly a relative, probably a relative because it's a small city, but it's more, officially they are more like a family friends. And one of them were not exactly an adult but a senior, was talking about the number zero. So he gave his trail of thoughts and his notes to some guys at the time, and I just happened to listen to it from afar. I was being shown at, but with little expectation, and for a good reason. At the time, I didn't understand. I couldn't elevate it at all. So, but then after that, I managed to interpret it far away in the future. So I regretted that I didn't do it sooner. And then after that, what else? A friend of mine actually talked about this existential um, sense of self, meaning that we were debating about a lot of stuff, interesting stuff, and one of the most profound things that we were talking about was that this sense of self. Are we actually, are we actually, uh, is the world is actually the results of our thoughts? Are we the main character of this place? Without us, would there be a world without us? And yeah, we can, like, at the end of the day, I acknowledge him to have that thought, and he would acknowledge me to have that thought, the same thought as well. But still, there's no way to tell that that is like we are limited to our senses. So at this point, this is my thoughts. But that came from a conversation actually. Um, but then I added some poetry on it and posted in this channel. So that one had been worked upon further by me, and that's another element of reason why I said that it is one of the most, not one of the most, it is the most expensive thing that I've done, because also because of that really profound things that came out of my friendship. So um what else? There are a lot of stuff actually that the adults were talking about. So maybe in the future, if I remembered some more, hopefully I could remember it properly. It is because I like my my apart from I respect them and I want them to prosper, I also like my products per se, let's say, undisputed. And if it were to be disputed, it would, I wish there's a clear line where we could figure things out. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Goodbye.